Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell. Like this video. That helps me to keep making videos. I'd appreciate it majorly. They've identified the companion that drove with Connor Betts and his sister to the Ned Peppers, the bar in the Oregon district of Dayton, where the shooting took place. 9 people were killed. This individual was wounded but wasn't killed. It was reported that he was, the boyfriend of his sister, but according to this report, he was not, and I don't think he was. You can see on his Facebook page that he has a different girlfriend. So I think he was friends with Connor. I mean, that's what it kind of says here. I'm going to try to just kind of paraphrase. I don't know if I'm going to read any of this. I'm very, very tired. The Daily Mail is the only place that has identified this. I just saw Fox News do a report on it with a reporter who's there in Dayton, and he didn't identify this. So I saw this about an hour ago when I was still working, and decided to wait till I got home and got settled in to talk about it. But he's I think Connor's friend. We still have no idea why he did this, and this actually just kind of leaves you with more questions, not any answers. In fact, I think in this article it reports that this dude, his name is Charles Beard. I think he goes by Chase. That's what he goes by on his Facebook page. And obviously, I'm not going to show his Facebook page because, it's just got a bunch of other people too. But he's identified here. And actually, in this picture, I don't know if they show it here or not. And then in another picture, they show that in that picture there, Connor's in the background. And there's probably another picture here, I think, in a second. I don't know what the event security that's for. I think that's from like 2016 too. Or maybe even be further back than that. And in this picture here, Connor's on the other side, and there's an African American dude in between them, and they seem to be 3 good friends. Again, I think it's from 2016. There's multiple pictures of the 3 of them together, not tons, but a few. So, and it doesn't seem as though that Connor seems very friends with both of them. Including the African American person. I do think that race has nothing to do with this, and I will say, I honestly did. My suspicion was that this individual was African American, even after today's press conference. With the chief of police taking questions, because he did not tell you the identity of this individual. He answered some questions like where he was shot, how do you talk to authorities and things of that nature, but he didn't indicate his race. And it's funny because he was asked, the first question he was asked about the sister and this person. Very first question. And then they kept circling back to it. But it was almost as though the reporters were afraid to just flat out ask it, even though everybody was wondering, including the reporters. It's not my imagination. Was the dude African American, and was that the reason why, that this was the trigger for this or something? But obviously he's not African American, and but because the chief of police didn't just flat out say it, just said, listen, he's not African American, just to put it to rest. Because he didn't do that, I was making the assumption that he was. And I think a lot of other people were too. But I think that the chief of police is just a very much by the book kind of dude. And so he didn't do that for no particular reason. Had he been asked, he probably would have answered it. But everyone was afraid to ask it. Totally. Or maybe they knew, I don't know. But he's not, and this is his companion. But he, supposedly, this guy, Charles Beard, was one of the individuals way back when Connor Betts had his hit list, that he posted in the bathroom in high school. I think when he was a sophomore, that got him suspended, and he was basically kicked out of school for a year before returning. He was one of the persons on the hit list. But I guess they became, were I don't know. They were friends then, and they still are friends, or they became friends again. I don't know. That hit list, it was actually a mixture of hit list and rape list. I think on the guys, he he had a problem with were on the hit list, and the girls he had a problem with were on the rape list. I mean, there was a distinction there. But in any event, this individual who was his companion that was in the car, that he drove there, this is the third person was this guy. So, we don't know a bunch of things. We don't know what time they got there. It almost seems to me like they went, because this all happened at 1 in the morning. I don't know that they would have all driven there. It's very possible they did, but I don't know that they all would have driven there at 1 in the morning. It's kind of more likely that they all went there, at some point, 9, 10, whatever. We have no idea. And we're hanging out and partying, and then maybe, something happened that set Connor Betts off, and that he went back to his vehicle and got everything that he had. But he brought all of it with him too. So I don't know if he had that in his car all the time. He had the drums. He had like 260 rounds, something like that. There was, in addition to the AR style type rifle that was modified for the drums that had 100 shells per drum. This round thing that I'm not even gonna. If it's in one of these pictures, I'll show it to you. He had another rifle still in the trunk of his car. So I do believe early on, I remember in reports before this person was identified, that they were actually talking to this guy to make sure that he wasn't involved, that he wasn't aware that, of any of it, that he wasn't aware that Connor Betts was going to do this, that he was planning this. And very early on, they determined that he wasn't, that he had no idea. I mean, for goodness sakes, he got shot too. So that's a pretty good alibi right there. But and he was shot in the torso. So and he's still in the hospital now. I think the police weren't scheduled to speak to him today, but they had spoken to him, while he was in the hospital. So again, not to belabor the point, but he was not her. He was not her boyfriend, and so maybe she has another boyfriend, possibly. But I would say we just don't know. And the more I look at it, the less I think that race has anything to do with it, and that something else set him off. We just have no clue. I've seen the reports from his Twitter account that he was basically, I think he was a Bernie supporter and definitely an Elizabeth Warren fan. That he was in favor of socialism. He was not a Trump fan at all, and I don't think his family's politics are Trump. I think they're on the other side as well, and they're nothing extreme or anything like that. He may have been, and people were basically calling him a leftist and stuff like that. Even though, keep in mind, Trump courted Bernie voters. He totally did. Big time. And a lot of Bernie voters voted for Trump, even if they are socialist or whatever. They just, if that was their choice. I don't know. That's beside the point. So, that's pretty much, the whole story, dude. I don't want to go through his Facebook page because I don't want to show anybody else. I think he actually, I've seen a picture of him, the individual Chase, where it says like beat blue. So I think he's on the other, I don't think so though, had a political argument or something like that. And that's all the pictures. But the individual that was the third person in the car is right there, Chase Beard, and he was not black. And that's pretty much the story there. We don't know the motive though. That's it. That's it. I'm exhausted. That's the picture I was looking for. For some reason, it's not in the other ones there. And I don't need to read through all this. That girl there is the middle schooler who said I believe that he had that he had told her that he wanted to tie her up and slit her throat, and that she went to the cops with her mom, I believe, at some point, but this is going back 10 plus years. If he's in middle school, he's 24 now, or was 24. And she claims that the police didn't take her that seriously. The chief of police actually was asked about that. Mostly he was asked about the companion and the sister, you know, I mean, and did he target his sister? That was, if I quickly before I finish this up. And he said, I can't answer that. He said, I can't see why. I mean, can't see, you know, for the life of him, he couldn't figure out why he would want to kill his sister. Who would want to do that? It's just so disturbed and sick. It's sick to kill anybody, but to kill your own sister is just. But he also, at the same time, said he found it hard to believe that the individual Connor Betts didn't know his sister was in the crowd. So you know he had no answer for that. But he did believe that Connor knew that his sister was in the crowd and that he was basically killing his sister and just didn't know why. But you know, because he was asked, was he targeting them and targeting the companion? Like I said, I think in one of my other videos, my last video, that he didn't kill his sister first, but she was one of the first, not the first though. I believe the first was Derek Fudge, and actually another a subscriber who watches my videos told me that who's in Dayton. You know, I would give you props. I don't want to tell people, you know, who you are though, where you live and stuff. So, and I appreciate the info. But this girl is the girl that supposedly he said, you know, he wanted to tie up and slit her throat. But like I was saying, I'm sorry, I'm so tired. The sheriff just didn't, you know, he didn't take these things. And I agree with him. I mean, some of these things that go back 10 years, when you're 14, you say all sorts of goofy stuff. I mean, that's sick and twisted. But, I mean, it's hard to you know, something from 10 years ago to use that as evidence today that they could have seen this coming. I don't know about that, you know. And he that's what the sheriff said. Something to that effect. All right, that's the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.